I don't wanna be, I don't wanna be me. Hello and welcome to A Quest for Metal. If you ever wanted to see what Questy looked like with hair, well, here I fucking am. Okay, that's enough of the wig. This is much better. This is much better. Today we have a special one. It's Spooktober, so we're gonna go with some kind of spooky-ish band. It's Type O Negative, the classic Type O Negative, with Peter Steele and his sexy voice. Come on, it's fucking sexy. Makes the panties drop, makes the women cream, makes the guys cream, makes everyone cream, basically. I love Type O Negative, most of the albums. We'll get to some of the ones that I don't like, but before we get into my list, before I get started with my list, I want your guys' input, so pop down below what's your favourite Type O album, what's your least favourite, and what would you look like without hair, and what would you look like with hair? Would it look good? Let me know down below, and let's get fucking started. So, last place is an easy one for me. Last place is an easy one. It is The Origin of Feces. Stupid ass fucking name, almost as bad as Autopsy's Shit Fun. And the album cover, not quite as bad. Sure, it's his bumhole, but it's not a woman eating shit, so it's not as bad. I mean, pick your poison. You got the updated version. I'll probably put the updated version here, like the green and the skeletons dancing. The reasons this one's last, the reason I don't really return to this one, as opposed to every other album, is it's kind of gimmicky. This album is kind of gimmicky. It's cool. The concept's cool, I guess, but in execution, it doesn't work. The whole kind of anti-live album, where it's supposed to be a live album, and you have the people in the audience like talking back and talking shit. It sounds good, but I don't really want to hear it in fucking songs. I don't really want to hear it. So the reason this is last is because the whole concept of it just does not work for me. Don't like this album really that much. It's easily last. I like all the other albums. Don't get me wrong, I like all the others. Just this one is the one that I just can't get into. Sure, it has long songs, and I like my long songs, but they're not executed well. And I just wish they didn't do the whole live inserts within the songs and the audience stuff. Like, it just didn't do anything for me. The songs themselves, yeah, they're pretty good. It has that same kind of feel as the debut, but just not as good, and I'd much rather listen to that, so let's move on. So next up is the latest album, so from an early album to the latest one, Dead Again, with the cool Rasputin album cover. I like this one. This one is a good one, so from here on out, these are good. I don't play this one as much as some of the others, but it's a solid album nonetheless. The first song, pretty punky, kind of enjoyable. I Can't Believe I Died Last Night. Tripping a Blind Man. So fun, so kind of doomy, pretty kind of Black Sabbath-y stoner doomy for the intro to that one, and then after the intro it goes really fast again. So it's got the cool Black Sabbath intro and then really fast like on some of the earlier ones. So I do like the dynamics in that song. The Prophets of Doom as well is a great song. That one sounds very Sabbath-y as well, very evil sounding on this one. So this album overall, it's really fantastic, quite a doomy album, but the singles, the punchy songs just aren't quite there. It's not quite as punchy as, say, Bloody Kisses or October Rust or World's Coming Down. We'll get to some of them. This one it's good. It's good all the way through. Can't complain about it. All I can say is that it doesn't have the spice, doesn't have the fire. Some albums are just good. This is a good one, but I wouldn't put it higher than any of the others. So let's go. Next up, we have Slow, Deep and Hard. Now this is their debut, and what a way to kick off a fucking career, because this is insane. This is super kind of fast, more aggressive. This is probably the most aggressive album, most intensy, the most intensy. Okay, Questy, you've gone mad. Most thrashy, most intensy, in your face. Peter Steele is most aggressive, most punky. Really enjoy this album. You know, usually I'm more on I like the more doomy stuff, I like the more somber stuff, and I still do, but I just think this has way better songs on than Dead Again. I just love the songs more on this album, and I think that the songwriting is just way better. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are slow moments in between. It's not just fast the whole way through. It's a great way to start off Type O Negative's discography, and I'll always return to it, so hell yeah. You know, 2 thumbs up from Questy. Next up is Life Is Killing Me. This is when they go in this more depressing kind of mood. Not quite the most depressing album, we'll get to that, but still pretty somber. And you have, you know, the classic with the video, I don't wanna be me. Oh my god, I love that song. That's the song that got me into the band. Yep, not all the other ones that people get into. That one got me into the band. I fucking loved it. Catchy as all hell. And I still love it. I still play it to death. It's one of my favourites. And A Dish Best Served Coldly, such a beautiful song with the acoustic guitar and everything in between. The singing on that one, magnificent. And Life Is Killing Me, the title track, is my favourite song on the album. It sounds very much like Paradise Lost in the kind of more gothic years, and I love it for that. And just the ending, the whole second half of the song, oh, it's majestic. Love this album, one of my favourites by the band, and it easily beats the albums I just talked about, easily. But there's more greatness within this band, and let's get to them juicy pears. So number 3, Bloody Kisses. Stinky. Bloody Kisses is my number 3. Usually this is number 1. The most played album that people pick for Typo Negative is this album. It has the 2 singles on, the most well-known songs. Why is it only number 3? Well, there's a lot of other songs on the album, and some of them hit, some of them don't. There's some kind of like really fast, punky songs, which are cool for like slow, deep, and hard, but on this album, doesn't really fit. It kind of affects the flow of this album. But I think there is an addition, I haven't heard it, but I think there's an addition where it takes out some of the songs which don't fit. So if I was to listen to that, maybe it'd go higher, but I haven't. I listened to the album with all the weird interludes and the kind of faster songs, and it just doesn't mesh together well. But the songs that hit, holy shit, they hit and make the album like fucking majestic. Of course, you know, Black, number 1. So good. And Christian Woman, she's in love with herself. She likes the dark. That's not Christian Woman. That's not it. But when he starts singing about Jesus, that whole segment is so fucking good. And I especially love on Christian Woman, the middle part, where it has the birds chirping and the acoustic. The fucking YouTube versions don't have shit on the album versions. Come on. The longer songs, way better. Way more girth on them. You love them for that. And the 10-minute title track, Bloody Kisses. Mwah. Great. So many iconic songs on here. Some of Breeze is cool as well. But there's just the ones in between that kind of drag it down, which make it not quite in the top 2, but top 3 nonetheless. So let's get in with my number 2, which is gonna spoil my number 1. My number 2 is October. It's the month of October. October Rust. Yes, this is my number 2. Yeah, you probably called what my number 1 was going to be if you know me. This album's flawless. These 2 albums, out of all of them, have no bad songs on. If we don't count the little interludes, which are like 50 seconds long, don't count them. The songs themselves, no bad songs on both of these albums. And October Rust, it's one of the best. And no wonder people have this really high in rankings, because all the songs on here, they're so fucking good. I mean, Let Me Love You to Death, that melody is so goddamn soothing when he sings that. Let me love you to death. So, that sounded more like Hetfield. But I love that song. Be My Druidess as well is so good. My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, Cinnamon Girl, and my favourite song on the album, Wolf Moon. What an epic that is. This has way more classic songs on than Bloody Kisses. They have 3. This has like fucking 5 or something. I adore October Rust. I understand why people have it number 1. I almost put it number 1. But there's another one which is just way too depressing for me not to have as number 1. And what is it? World Coming Down. Of course it is. It's one of the most depressing albums ever fucking made. The songs on here, bring a tear to my eye. Especially like Everything Dies. That song especially is probably my favourite Type of Negative song of all time. When he loves everything, but everything's eventually going to die, and his vocals for that, touches you deeply. White Slavery, Everyone I Love Is Dead, and All Hallows Eve. Come on. Come on, it's gotta be the best. It's the most consistent album along with October Rust. It's easily my favourite. It's gotta be World Coming Down. So that is my favourite Type O Negative album. I love my camera, but it's about to die. Let me know down below what's your favourite Type O album. I can't see a fucking thing. Let me know your favourites down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.